Hi, Anne.
Hi.
Great to be here with you today. Again, everyone watching this right now, sorry we had some little tech issues earlier, but we're back and we're better than ever, right, Anne?
Yeah.
Okay, well, anyway, I'm not sure where we might have lost a couple of people, but to kick things off, we're so excited to be back with episode number 12 of Women Who Do. And thank you again for everyone that's here today. We so appreciate that that you're tuning in. And if this might be your first time tuning in today, Women Who Do is a series that's dedicated to inspiring conversations about career and community with absolutely amazing women. So if you're meeting me for the first time today, I'm Jessie Gray Rubenstein, and I'm Ann Klein's granddaughter. So this series was created to uphold my grandmother's legacy during these absolutely unprecedented times. I think, especially right now, her message of strength and empowerment is more critical than ever before. And this leads me to a very warm introduction. It is so great to have you on today, Anne.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. And so I think I have a lot of questions for you. So let's dive right in. Um, so within the fashion industry, you are a jack of all trades. For our audience who may be unfamiliar with your work, can you tell us a little bit more about some of the exciting projects you're working on?
Sure. Well, let's see. I am still working as a celebrity stylist and also doing personal styling as well. And I am doing brand advising and brand influencing, which has been a lot of fun. So I have some um, brand collaborations and brand campaigns coming up that are a lot of fun. So look out on my social media to check them out. And my social media is Ann_Caruso. And one big project that I'm really excited about that's coming out hopefully next spring or the spring after that, I'm doing a design collaboration with a designer. So it'll be Ann Caruso times the designer I'm working with.
Oh,
And maybe like a 10-piece collection that you can shop. So I'm excited. I love spring, summer clothes. So that's my favorite time of year.
ooh, me too.
So I'm
Can you give us like
excited.
a little taste? I know you can't share too much, but is there any details that you're able to share with us?
It'll be fun prints. I like stripes, as you can see. Um, so it'll be a little bit of that, fun little poofy shoulders. I like off the shoulder things. So a little bit of everything.
Oh, I love that. I'm so excited to see it and hear about which designer it's with.
You'll see.
Um, and I mean, it's so incredible. You have styled some absolutely legendary celebrities, and I know you've worked with renowned publications really all over the world. So I'd say, like, kind of what sets you apart from other stylists, and how have you become so successful in your field?
I thank you, by the way. I think probably having the incredible background of where I work maybe set me apart, like starting at Ralph Lauren in design, which was such great experience, and working at Vogue for so long kind of sets you apart in the industry. And then I started my freelance career and I worked many years at Vanity Fair freelancing, which was such a coup because Vanity Fair was such an important place during those years. So if you got to work there and work with the celebrities, it was very exciting. Like I would jump up and down every time I got a job. And I started to work with a lot of celebrities during that time, and I was really good with them. When I started in fashion, I wasn't the typical fashionista. I was very warm and friendly, and a lot of people in the fashion industry aren't known to be warm and friendly. So I think that really went a long way, especially working with celebrities. Um, so I started doing celebrity styling and um, brand consulting. And then I worked with Tatler in London and then continued to be a contributing editor at Harper's Bazaar. But I think all of that really set me apart. And also, when I started freelancing, a lot of the freelance stylists and photographers were doing very edgy styling. Um, and that came easy to me. I could easily do that. But a lot of stylists couldn't really do that refined, classic,
Mm.
sophisticated styling. And it came very easily to me. You know, ever since I was a young girl, like my first subscription was was Vanity Fair.
Mm.
And, you know, I was looking at all of the royalty and you know, I was looking at the backgrounds, at the paintings, the art. And for a young girl at 17, like I also had the Harper's Bazaars and the Vogues at the house because of my older sister. But, you know, I was fascinated by these people. Um, but I notice all the details. So when I'm on a shoot, you know, I notice if the pillow's out of place, like I notice the details in the fabric. And so I kind of was pigeonholed into shoots with those kind of celebrities, famous socialites, um, royalty. So I was good going on those shoots because um, I was good with the people. I understood what kind of fashion to put on them. So that's kind of my genre. And even though I was kind of upset, I was like, oh, I really want to be doing the you know, the model shoots, which I did every once in a while, but I did a lot of those kind of shoots, which ended up being very good for me.
Yeah. It sounds like you really found your niche and then
Yeah.
just dove in really deep.
Yeah. So as a contributor at Harper's Bazaar, those were mainly the shoots that I would get. I'd get special projects, which were very exciting for me.
Wow. That's amazing. Well, so one of the questions I really want to make sure we get to is, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Ann Klein passed away um, from breast cancer,
Yes.
and I know you battled breast cancer, and
Mhm.
I think what's just so amazing and inspiring is you then took your personal experience and then kind of implemented it into your professional life and started these different programs with fashion brands to drive awareness and research to support women. Can you talk a little bit more about kind of how you integrated your professional and personal life to really just uphold women that are going through this?
Um, well, I think it all started when Glenda Bailey, who's the editor-in-chief of Harper's Bazaar, asked me to tell my story in the October issue. And at that point, I hadn't really told a lot of people because if you think about it, let's see, my first cancer was maybe 10, 11 years ago, and it was a lot different. You didn't really talk about it as much. So a lot of people reached out to me, lots of women from all over the world, and it was I felt like I was really doing service. But not only that, a lot of brands reached out to me, and one a beauty brand, Estee Lauder, reached out and they wanted me to style Elizabeth Hurley for the Estee Lauder campaign for breast cancer and also for BCRF, the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. So I started working with Elizabeth helping her and dressing her for all of her personal appearances and events, which was amazing. So I started getting known for doing that. But also, the brand started reaching out because they they knew I was so involved and wanted to do projects with me that would help women with breast cancer. So I would do events, and a percentage of, like, I would do a styling event, and a percentage would go to research. People would want to reach out and have me promote um, a blouse, or they'd ask me, like, how can we give back to breast cancer? And I'd help them figure out how to do it. Or I would talk to companies and I'd say, well, if if I was consulting with them, I'd say, why don't you do something pink for October? And I have some organizations that you can talk to, and I'd connect them. So that's a lot of what I do. And I just try to help out in any way that I can. Also, just being there for women that need to talk. They reach out, they want to know about my experience. I always try to be an advocate for breast cancer awareness, working with different charities, helping them promote awareness. Um, trying to raise funds for them, anything that I can do.
That's so amazing. And I'm sure that a lot of our listeners right now are hearing this and they also want to make a difference and support women that are battling breast cancer. So, what can they do to get involved?
Well, firstly, I always say that charity starts at home. And a lot of people forget that. So, firstly, I say, find out, out of your friends, or if you know someone that has breast cancer, they need help. Call them, text them, check on them, and don't think that you're a bother, because they need as much support as they can get. They need rides to the doctor, they need company, they need groceries, they need someone to clean their house, they need help with their bills because some of them can't work during this time. They need help with the kids. It goes on and on. They might be losing jobs and they might need help finding a job. They might need help with their health insurance. It goes on and on and on. And it's not only after they finish their surgeries and treatment. Things happen to your body after, and you're always going, and it continues. So continue to check on them. And then the other ways that you can help out is, finding organizations in your state or in your city, but make sure that they are good charities that are using the money in the right way.
Mhm.
I have ones that I'm involved with that I know the money is going in the right places. And you really want to find out, and that's super important. Donate. The month of October, there's so many pink products that you can buy. I've been posting on
Like
my
this one from
stories.
Ann Klein.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And a donation goes to a charity, and you're also buying a product which is helping the designer, because right now designers aren't thriving and retail is doing so poorly, and you're helping the economy. So you're doing three wonderful things. So that's what I can say as someone who's in the business, who worries about the world and also worries about helping people with breast cancer. And if you need some places to go to, if you are wondering what charities, you can always DM me or email me. My email is on my social media in my bio.
That's awesome. Thank you, Anne.
Mhm.
That's really, really helpful. Um, and also love that guilt-free shopping.
Yes, exactly.
Um, so one question we always love to come back to,
Mhm.
since this series is really about women empowering women, um,
Mhm.
who are some of the women in your life that inspire you?
Well, I have to say my mom. My mom is incredible. She inspires me every day. She's almost 92,
Wow.
but she wakes up every day and she's just happy to be alive. And she just no matter what problem, she knows she can get through it. She never gets depressed, and she always has a smile on her face. She's just I don't know, she's incredible. I think that's why I really have survived through so many things in my life is because she's such a great example, and I think it's really important to have someone like that in your life. Um, and I think, my girlfriends, just having really good girlfriends that are positive, that are striving in business, and that can help keep you going. Um, I think also certain fashion um, bosses that I've had, I
Mhm.
think, working for someone like Anna Wintour and Glenda Bailey are certainly inspiring. And you learn so much at places at like Vogue and Harper's Bazaar, the women that have worked there. They're just very strong women. Um, and also, I was brought up with um, my aunts who came from Italy, like at the turn of the century, and they were really strong women. And um, some didn't ever get married and they took care of us kids. A few were married, but they came over to take care of my dad's mom who was sick, and they came over to take care of her kids. And um, they had their own money, but they were very independent and they took care of us like, they were our grandmothers. And
Wow.
they were just so strong. It was amazing. So I learned a lot from them. So I think I've always had strong women around me.
It's important. Yeah,
Yes.
I totally, especially I feel like earlier in my career, those kind of first professional relationships you have with female, executives or entrepreneurs makes such an impact.
Yes, yes. And I'm sure having a grandmother like Anne Klein, she was so iconic and such a strong woman. I mean, I don't think people realize because she hasn't been around in so long, but she was one of the most important, like one of the five most important designers in the 70s. And, this is what American sportswear was made out of. And she was a very independent woman.
Yeah.
So, so you come from that lineage.
I unfortunately never had the opportunity to meet her, but from the stories from my dad, I hear she could work like 24 hours a day and like
Yeah.
still be just like upbeat and like excited to be working. And I love that.
Yeah.
That is such
Yeah.
a cool attitude.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that helps you get by.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Um, and
Oh, I wanted to show you something. So I
oh,
was I was cleaning through some of my things and I found these beautiful vintage Anne Klein necklaces.
oh my God, I love
I
those.
know, I know. They're so great.
They're so great.
But the quality is incredible. And so when I bought them in the 90s. I found them at a vintage place. I used to do a lot of vintage shopping in the 90s, like every weekend. And so I used to wear them intermingled with my Chanel necklaces, like the whole
Mhm.
Chanel. So I wanted to show you. I found them.
Wow, they're it's awesome. I love seeing that.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for showing me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anne loved jewelry too. It's now my mom has a lot of it, and when I,
Oh, her.
beg her, she lets me wear it, but she's always I don't know. I don't lose things, but
Yeah.
she's always like, "Jessie, don't wear it, you're gonna lose it." I'm like, "I don't lose things."
Yeah,
But,
she was gorgeous. Like, she liked a lot of gold.
yes. Well, she had this collection of, they're like they were actually stamps from I wanna say, like, the late 1800s, early 1900s,
Mhm.
and they're these, like they're hands, they look like stamps, um, or you can only see the stamp if you look underneath the hand, but they're, like, beautiful porcelain, and my mom has them on, like, gold chains, and they're so
Oh,
amazing. I've never
amazing.
seen anything like it.
Amazing.
Yeah, I wish I
Wow.
had one here to show you.
You could have brought one to show us.
I know, shame on my mom, she has to ship one to California.
Yeah.
She's probably watching this laughing right now. Um, well, Anne, I think we have time left for one more question, and I think this is a really great one to kind of, wrap everything up with, because I think, especially right now, there's so many people out there that are making kind of changes in their career. This
Mhm.
crazy time we're going through has really forced us all to either pivot directions or change how we're looking at things, especially our careers. So, for any of our listeners that are out there trying to make a mark in the fashion industry, what advice can you give to them?
Well, I always think it's really important to love what you do, because when you love what you do, it's not really work. And no matter what you do, it's going to be stressful. So you might as well like what you do. Um, and I always say, do what you love and the money's going to follow. There's this book that I bought a long time ago, and that was the title, Do What You Love, the Money Will Follow. So I always say, don't worry about that. Um, and the other thing is, if you want to be in fashion, like really know fashion. I've been interviewing people because I need virtual assistants. And if you want a job, like really know it. Even though you're young, like look at the online magazines. Like I know people aren't buying magazines anymore, but there's so many resources. Like even if you're shopping on Moda or Net-a-Porter, even if you can't afford it, there's so much inspiration. There's Fashion Daily, there's BOF, there's Women's Wear Daily to know about what's happening in the fashion world. Just know as much as you can. Follow interesting people on Instagram. Maybe explore your depth of what your main interest is, so you can explore different categories of fashion. There's the search button, and you can search things, or um, like for me right now, interiors are really interesting. And I
Mhm.
feel like interiors are influencing fashion so much, where a long time ago it was street fashion and you'd go on the street and you get inspired, or it was rock and roll was kind of influencing fashion. And music still inspires, but I feel like I'm so inspired by fabrics and furniture and lampshades, and I don't know, it's strange for me, but I think everyone's feeling inspired by home.
Yeah.
And um and also just finding internships. I know it's really hard to find a job right now. People are getting fired. Companies can't afford to pay anyone. And I would take internships and really learn from people that can be your mentor, and just really push yourself. There's so many different opportunities to learn and be better. And, a lot of people are living at home, so it's a really great opportunity. If you're not living at home and you are, have to pay the rent, that's totally understandable. But I think, you know, being good at your job and just having as much knowledge as you can and pushing yourself, always trying to um, push the knowledge and researching, and everywhere around us there's so much inspiration and things to learn, asking questions when you're out, when you meet people. I think all of those things help.
Yeah, just get out there. I mean, like you said, it's amazing. We have the we have technology at our fingertips. So really, any information that we are curious about, we can find in like under 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's true. And listen, I'm pivoting, and there's such a learning curve for me with being an influencer now. I'm doing all these different things, but there's so much to learn. And um, a lot of girls have been doing this for years, and um, it doesn't mean that you can't learn to do all these things. And every day or every other month, there's something new to learn, but it shouldn't stop
Yeah,
you from getting it done and being even better at it than anyone else.
I love
So
that. Yeah, I know. Especially Instagram. I feel like there's a new feature every week.
there's always something new to learn.
Well, Anne, thank you so much for everything today. I loved speaking with you. And
Same here.
yeah, thank you so much for coming on. And thank you for everyone out there for watching today. I truly appreciate you joining us. And remember to tune in 2 weeks on October 28th. We'll be coming back for our conversation with philanthropist and Chief People Officer Chloe Drew. And for all the latest updates on the Women Who Do series, make sure you're following us on Ann Klein on Facebook and at Ann Klein Official on Instagram. So we'll see you guys next time and have a wonderful rest of your week. Um, and thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you. It was fun.